What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. We're out here working on sunshine today. You saw in the last video where we made that, well, we made our only pass, or I say our only 30 feet or so. When it came up, went back, set on the back tire. We don't know if it collapsed a shock. We do know that it bent a ladder bar. So we're going to be pulling the rear end out of this, checking that bracket out. I've already got the brackets for it to put back on it. Motor ran great, so we're freaking ecstatic about that. I mean, it's made more power than it's ever made. So we're not complaining in that part of it. But, I mean, when you make more power, you're going to find more weak spots, and we found the weak spot again on the rear end, again on the ladder bar, again. So we're going to have to gusset this up somehow, make it to where it's a little more rigid, kind of box it in, because it's got those open back on it, and I'll show you here real quick on the bottom of it. If you notice right there, see how it's not boxed in on that bottom part? So it allows it to bend over like that. I mean, that's pretty intense, if you ask me. Didn't hurt the ladder bar. Ladder bar still looks straight. The heim joints are still good. All the stuff we did up front, of course, didn't move a bit. I mean, that'll be there till the cockroaches die. Probably straighten that one out, but why if I got new brackets already? You know, don't cheap out there. We're gonna get that one ripped off of here, get the new one back on. I think what we're gonna do is probably brace up from here, probably up to here some way, and here over, from here over. Some way just to give it a little more rigidity so it can't get that force on those open brackets like that, and then we'll run a plate probably and box in this back end part right here. See if we can get this thing to work. I mean, it wanted to. I mean, you saw in the video how it ripped it. It was on a pass. That was the hardest this car has ever hit. I mean, it was fixing to make a haul. It was ready to boogie on down the track. So we're gonna get this back tires off of here, drop down the rear end. Joey's on his way over here to help me out. Try to get this thing out of here tonight, start cutting on it. I wanna have it back in by this weekend. We got a big race coming up in a couple of weeks we're trying to get ready for. I wanna make sure that we have at least one more weekend to go out and test with it. I have yet to make a pass with these heads on here. Not one single pass have I made since we've upgraded everything. We know it's gonna make power. We felt at that time, so now I just gotta get everything else to work. But we're gonna jump in here, guys, and get after it. All right, guys, wheels and tires are off. Just gotta pop the drive shaft loop off. Drive shaft loop. Yeah, I really want to take the drive shaft loop out of it. Take the drive shaft off, get the ladder bars disconnected, lower that rear end down, pop the shocks off, and start assessing damage. Shouldn't take us too long, hopefully, in theory. I mean, there's not a whole lot. Looking at the ladder bars and everything looks straight. Even looking across here, everything's level out across. I think all it did was just kind of turn that bracket when it did what it did and went kind of wonky on us. Shouldn't be too hard of a fix, in theory. Our rear end is out. All the ladder bars underneath there look really good. Everything's still straight. Everything still articulates like it's supposed to. All the heims are moving fine. None of those are bent. Everything's like we hoped it would be. Not hurt. All the stuff we did before, all that stuff's still intact. I mean, obviously the bracket, it's just that bottom piece. All the bracket looks okay. None of the welds are broken around the rear end anywhere. At least not that we can see. Everything looks good. Yeah, we just have to get it out. But we're gonna get this out, get it over on the jack stands. That way we can access everything. But the good news is everything underneath the car that we did before is all intact. Everything's working good. Nothing's bent, nothing's broke. So this should be a really simple fix. Something we can do pretty quick. Just gonna be a lot of cutting, grinding, and welding, and then bracing up to where this hopefully doesn't happen again. I'm gonna do a little extra work on the shock tower brackets. I know y'all looked at those. Don't look at my welding. I did that. Yes, I did. So we're gonna go here on the jack stands, take a look at it. All right, guys, we have a little change of plans here. Not saying we're going to stick with this, but I'm gonna attempt to bend this back just to see where I can get it as close as I can, because I don't want to mess with those welds if I don't have to. That straightener will be that good. Yeah. I mean, it really is. Only problem is I don't know how close I'm gonna be able to get with this. Don't try this at home. I wouldn't recommend this.
Only professionals.
Yeah, only professionals. Highly trained professionals.
I think you're going to bend that outside too much with that.
This one's perfectly straight right now, other than the dog ear.
Right.
It's getting this one over. It's going to be the trick. All right, guys, we've got it kind of straightened out right now. We're gonna run over to Joey's, get his torch, come back, get some heat on it, and work it back and forth. I think we can get it straightened out. I really don't want to mess with these welds here and get the heat on that tube because everything is so nice there and nothing's hurt. I think we can straighten that out. I want to preface this is all Joey's idea. So if it doesn't work, this was Joey's idea. That's all you. If it works, we'll give him the credit. But I think that's what we're gonna try to do. So we're gonna run and get the torch, grab us a bite to eat, come back, start heating on this thing, and hopefully get it straightened out. If we can do that, oh my gosh, that'd save a lot of time. I don't think it's that bad. I did the same thing on this one over here. It worked out pretty good. So we're gonna give it one more shot. If it doesn't, like I said, I've got the brackets. We'll just have to cut it off and go from there. Well, I've got the brackets on
somewhere.
Yeah, they're hidden in the garage somewhere. I know I've got them though. They came with the other ladder bars. That's our plan for right now, guys. So we're gonna go grab a bite to eat, come back and jump back on it. All right, guys, back from Joey's house. We got the torch and everything going. Get a little heat on here and start straightening this thing out. You see what it looks like now. Hopefully, when we're done, it looks a little better than it does. All right, guys, as you can see, that straightened out pretty darn good. Got a little more tweaking. I've got my old ladder bar here set up from the last time we jacked her up. So we're gonna set that in here, line it all up, and then heat it up again, kind of twist it in position like that, and that'll tell us where we need to get it all leveled out, and then where we can gusset and where we need to go to. But I mean, really, for what we got, just a little bit of heat, didn't do a whole lot on it. It straightened out really, really nice. Like I said, it's all gonna be boxed in, so I'm not worried about weakening the metal or anything like that. But we're gonna try to get this on here and go from there. All right, guys, we got everything heated up, stretched out, beat out, straightened out. She's still smoking hot. Still got a little bit of steam coming off of there, but everything's in there straight. Everything's in there square. I mean, can't ask for much more than that. I wouldn't say we got lucky, but I mean, that's pretty dang good to not have to cut into that axle or get anything on that tube. I just didn't want to have to mess with that as good as that's welded. I mean, the less we can disturb on this thing, the better off we are. Now, we'll go in here and we'll box from here all the way down, box all it in. We'll box this front side, and we'll run a support from here all the way across to here, and then something from down from here,
yeah, something like that.
You know, from here down from there, or something kind of like that, just to kind of give us a little bit of rigidity to it. So we can go back to that bracket there.
Yep.
But I think our biggest thing is going to be coming from this bar here, going all the way across, and tying both of those in together. That will leave any inkling of what it wants to do as far as movement. Okay. Just annihilate all that. So now what I do is just go to the Metal Mart, get me some flat steel and some cold roll, and start welding on it. But I'll jump on that tomorrow, and we'll pick up there. All right, guys, we're back from the metal store. Got our flat metal we need, got our cold roll steel we need. Give you a little insight of what we're gonna do here. Basically what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this flat steel, this 1/4 inch steel. We're gonna run this all the way across. I already got this ground on here, so it's trying to fall on me. We're basically gonna run that across there like that. Get that tacked in on both bars. Then we're gonna take this other flat steel and we're gonna run it up behind here and box all of this in. Of course, it'll all be, you know, shaved off and nice and all that, but meet up like that. Cut off here, grind all that out, weld that up together, and then I've got this heavy cold roll, which is 1/2 inch cold roll. Gonna take that and basically run a brace from here up to this bar, and probably from here down to here, and then tie this in somehow into here, just to give us a little more rigidity. Well, I wouldn't say a little more rigidity, that should give us a lot more stiffness that we need to get. Basically, we just got to get in here and jump on it. Got to start cutting these out, get little tack welds on them. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get it all put on here, tack welded in, get all the pieces and all the parts together, get it in there snug where we can actually take this and move it, and I'm gonna take it out to Mike, out to his shop, and have him get the good welder on it and get everything cinched up and get his take on it too. He knows a little more about gusseting stuff up than what we do, but that's pretty much what we're going with right now, guys. So I'm gonna start cutting and getting after it and get these things all tacked in there. Got everything tacked in, all the bracing up, everything filled and scraped where I want it. Filled in where I want it, everything braced where I want it. Now all we gotta do is just load this thing up, take it over to Mike's, let him do a final assembly on it, or I'd say final welding. We may do a couple more braces from here down, just to gusset it up a little more, put a little weld across the back here, may tie in a couple of more spots. Pretty much I'm satisfied with what it is right now. I think that gives us plenty of strength and rigidity for what we need to do. And of course it'll be all welded up nice and painted and all that, so it'll look better than what it does now. But Right now, I don't really care about the way it looks. All I worry about is form and function at the moment. Tired of doing this. I don't know how many times. What is this? The second or third time we've had this rear end out this year? Man. Well, that's what happens when you start making power. You start breaking stuff. So all we gotta do now is load it up, head it over to Mike's shop, and get it all welded up. All right, guys. We made it out to Mike's shop. You can tell we had the rear end up here. The house is up there and the shop's up there, but we got business to tend to. Got the poles. Got to catch us a couple of fish first. Why not? Work on this thing all day long. Got to get some R&R. So we're going to do a little bit of casting, and we'll jump on this rear end here in a minute. You hit that right there. Guys, I was going to weld on this, but Mike said no. He doesn't trust me.
You've been welding on it.
I have. You see that? It looks just like my weld. I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh?
It looks just like my stuff.
I know. Yeah. Which one?
I'll find it here in a minute.
Show me what it looks like.
Bring me in. Look at that bad boy. Let's see.
Doing it?
I'm doing it. It's easy when you got a welder that actually works. As their final product, got everything welded up. Able to get around everything, did a little touch on some other stuff. But all of that's good for where I want it. That'll serve the purpose of what needs to be done. Got all down in there. Yes, I did weld on it. He welded some. Mike didn't want the responsibility of it, so he told me to do it. I think that'll work for us, guys. I'll get it all cleaned off and disc and all that, and get it all painted up, get this sucker back to the house. All right, man, we're out of here. Appreciate it.
Boom.
Next time, make sure the fish stays on my pole. All right, guys, back here at the house, got the rear end underneath the car. Got the two top bolts in. You can see we got all the brace. Everything's painted up and looks pretty. Just gonna get another jack underneath here. I gotta get underneath that pinion to try to tilt that rear end forward and try to get these other two bottom bolts in, then try to get it up in the air. Then after that, I'm gonna hang these shocks, line those up, because this bracket over here on this right side, this one right here, is a little off from when we straightened the rear out the first time. I never moved the shock towers after doing all that other work we did. It's always been kind of off just a little bit, so I'm gonna get that straightened out. I bought some new tabs, so I'm gonna get this up in there, get pressure on it, get it to where it needs to go, hang the shocks, and just kind of see where I need to put that one bracket. The other one should be fine. I think on this one I've just got to move it over one bracket and put another bracket over here, and it should be fine. But hopefully this goes in nice. Alright guys, I highly recommend if you get a chance to put these in by yourself. Don't talk about a pain in the butt. I'm sure this is real stable, what I'm doing here. But hey, when you got two hands, you got two hands. Everything's in. Everything seems to slide pretty good. Everything's tight. Just gotta find the two washers I've lost, but whew, all we gotta do is cinch this thing down, lift it up. All right, guys, there she is. Everything is in. Shocks are relocated, got all the tabs welded up. Got everything painted, put in, everything cinched up, drive shafts hooked up. All we gotta do now is just bleed the brakes, put the wheels back on it. Basically what I gotta do now is just set it down on the ground, take it for a little drive, make sure everything's in there straight, it doesn't move around or anything like that, nothing's rubbing, which it shouldn't be. Everything was in the exact same position. It didn't actually knock it out of place too bad. That's all we got, guys, and hopefully she's ready to go racing. We'd like to go this weekend, but it looks like we're in for rain for the next solid week, this weekend all the way through next weekend. But if we get a clear day, we're definitely going out and testing this thing out. I want to feel this thing again. It was leaving super hard that last time when it did all this, so it was fixing to make a pass, and gets me a little excited, gives me something to look forward to. So with that being said, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. We will catch you guys on the next one.